We are your home theater and AV questions answered. This is AVRant. Want your home theater or AV question answered by Tom and Rob? Send it to question@avrant.com. Welcome to AVRant. I'm Tom Andry, and I'm here with
Rob H.
Rodney. All right, we actually have diagrams for this guy. So thank God we have all this video that we've been doing. Rodney would like some feedback on the design for his basement media room. If you are in his home theater, looking at the screen, there's a sliding door on the sliding door on the right side wall at the front of the theater, the right front corner, leading to the bathroom and the stairs, and the second sliding door in the rear right corner, leading to his lounge and bar area. The back wall also has a large window opening. You can see from the bar into the theater, but that window style opening can close with yet another sliding door. Sounds more like shutters, but door, whatever. Yeah. With all of the doors closed, the theater itself is just under 3,000 cubic feet, but with the bar window open and the doors possibly being open during a party, he'd be dealing with over 10,000 cubic feet.
Yeah.
All right, so we're looking at his speaker placement here. Let me see if I can open this up. Holy moly, where is it?
This will be the second image inside of those batch of files. It's a hand-drawn image, but it is a to-scale hand-drawn image. And his room is actually wider than it is long, so it's 20 feet wide. It's 18.5 feet long, 8-foot ceilings. And he's going for a 110-inch acoustically transparent screen at the front of the room. So the image is a little bit, well, you can't say misleading because it's to scale, but he's going for like a 4-seater couch. The left and right front speakers are basically about the same width as that couch on either side of that 110-inch acoustic transparent screen, but they're over 9 feet apart. They're closer to 10 feet apart. So I don't see any particular problem with the spread of his left-right front speakers. He's got what looks like top front and top rear Atmos speakers, which are in line with those front left and right speakers, and the positioning on those looks great. And then he's got his surround speakers more or less directly to the sides of the couch on the side walls, and he has ample distance because this is quite a wide room. And then no surround back speakers because the seat is, well, it's not, I wouldn't say close to the back wall, but he has that window back there that allows you to see from the bar into the theater. So there isn't really a great place to put a surround back speaker. I am very okay with the speaker layout.
Yeah, the speaker layout looks just fine. The left, right, Atmos speakers, surround speakers all look just okay for me.
And then he's proposing starting with dual subwoofers at the midpoints of the two side walls. Again, this room being wide enough to hold that, I am all for that.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if he needs to cheat those things back a little bit because he's got them in the middle of his seated area. Well, this is if he's got everything closed, right? If he's got everything closed, it's not. I mean, these are pocket doors. These are not in any way super airtight.
They'll still reflect a lot of that bass back into the room.
So as long as you got everything closed up, that's probably the proper placement for them. I mean, that is the proper placement for them. But if you've got things opened up, then it kind of. There's no way of really knowing what the proper placement is without seeing the whole thing.
I mean, honestly, I got to be really honest with you here. I wouldn't worry too much about the party situation with the doors and the pocket window thing to the bar area open. I mean, at the minimum, if you were going for your best results, you'd have to run 2 separate calibrations. And then if you're going with a Denon and Marantz, like we're going to recommend, you'd end up having to use the save and load feature to switch between the 2 calibrations, or you'd have to go with a different brand that allows you to
and honestly, I mean, unless you are going to have and mostly I'd be worried about the back wall. If that back wall bar area open so that people can still see and experience the movie from the other room.
From the bar, right.
Yeah, unless you are going to have that be something that happens on a regular basis, I wouldn't calibrate it for it. I wouldn't have a calibration for it, and I would I'd place
let it do what it does and not worry.
Because during a party, you're not going to have it so loud that the subs are really going to be doing much. to be honest with you, it's going to be a low level, and they're going to be adding bass, but they're not going to be adding bass. You know what I mean? It's just going to be music and stuff, and there's going to be a little bit here and a little bit there. It's going to be fine. So I don't know that I would worry about it too much. But it just depends on how you're planning on using the room. So he's planning on 2 subs, but we're wiring 4 forward just in case 2 don't provide even bass. His thought is dual SVSPC 12 pluses. Do they still sell those? I guess they do.
They sure do.
Will they be enough sub to pressurize the room?
With the doors closed, absolutely yes. And we have our good friend, I don't live in a manufacturing Chris, who has 10,000 cubic feet, who has a pair of, did he go for PC or PB 12 pluses? But regardless, same output capabilities. He went for the plus models. Now, he kind of feels like he could use a little bit more kick in the mid bass, but essentially, they're doing a perfectly fine job in his 10,000 cubic feet. You're only going to have 10,000 cubic feet occasionally, and that's not when you're going to be doing your critical listening by any means. So absolutely, I'd say those are fine in both situations. Yeah,
I don't really think that you're going to need anything else, so they're going to skip the rest of this question, to be honest with you. The PC 12 pluses will be fine.
The interesting one is 4 PB or PC 2000s right off the bat, since the price is actually about the same. That's interesting. Gosh. I mean, what would you say? Should he go for 4?
No.
2000 series right away, or 2
He's got optimal placement here with these things. I don't think I would. I think I'd go with 2 subs and just wash my hands of the whole thing. Yeah, I think you'd save the money and take that to the bank.
I can't disagree with that at all. We're in agreement.
All right. In his previous theater with a centered speaker below the screen, he always disliked how the sound seemed like it was coming from the floor. So for the basement, he's planning on an acoustically transparent screen. He can't build an entire false wall because the room is not extremely deep, but he could build a small area behind the screen to house just the speaker. What is the minimum boundary distance the speaker would need in all directions? Which speaker are you talking about? Because that kind of makes all the difference in the world here. Are you getting an on-wall speaker, or an in-wall speaker, or an
so he did have sort of a he seems to be mostly looking at EMP Tech, Ascend Acoustics, and Aperion.
Well, the Aperion center channel has a
Kefs in there.
Yeah, it has a boundary gain compensator switch on the back, so you need just about as much. I mean, I think it's front ported. I know it's not backboarded, so
it's not. It's a passive radiator on the front.
Yeah, so you don't really need any space. Just where's the speaker? You need enough so you can hook up the speaker wire, and the grill has to be there, I guess.
There's a little bit more to it though, because he actually wants to go with a vertically aligned center speaker, because he doesn't have a lot of space, and there's actually kind of a pole that's running down the middle there.
Oh, okay.
So vertical will work really nice for him, including it could be a tower. It could just be 3 tower speakers across the front. So 3 tower speakers would work just fine for him. I mean, I would say if you want to just make a space, because let's say he wants to build the room and then decide on the speakers later, right?
Yeah.
If you give yourself 2 feet of depth, right? Because most center speakers aren't going to be more than 12 inches deep, which leaves you 12 inches behind there. You fill that up with 6 inches of insulation, a 6-inch air gap, and then the 12 inches of your center speaker or so. If you give yourself about a 2-foot deep well to work with and line it with 6 inches of insulation on all sides, you're basically okay. Like, even if it's a rear port speaker, it's still going to be fine.
A lot less than that, to be honest with you. I'm betting he's going for
He's got this unfinished area that's behind the theater wall. Mm-hmm. That's what's going on there. You know, he doesn't want to use that whole front wall space, but he can basically, I mean, it would be like building a little closet.
Yeah.
a little jut out.
Yeah.
So I'm saying 2 feet deep, at least 6 inches wider on both sides than the width of the center speaker. And if you're going vertically aligned, let's assume it's going to be no more than 10 inches wide. So let's go for, 24 inches. There you go. 2 feet wide, 2 feet deep.
There you go. I think that's a safe. If you're going vertical, that's safe. If you're not going vertical, if you're going with the horizontal center, then...
And 2 feet wide, 2 feet deep isn't gigantic.
No,
it's not a huge thing to carve out. So.
Yeah. All right. Okay, I already asked that one. His seating distance from the screen will be 12 feet. Will it still be 12 feet if you have a 2 foot by 2 foot thing?
Well, because that's going back though. It's not. Yeah. It's not pushing forward. It's going back.
Would it be okay to go with a silver ticket screen and not see the texture? Will it need to step up to Seymour AV? What was it? Was it 10? I thought it was 10 feet for the silver ticket. That
10 feet
was where people were complaining about the weave.
Yeah, closer than 10 feet.
Yeah, I think you'll be fine.
I would think so. I would, yeah, 12 feet away should be fine.
I mean, yeah, you always return it, I suppose. I mean, Amazon's...
You sure can.
Amazon's
buy from Amazon and return
Amazon's got a really good return policy. I'd put it up there, and I mean, you wouldn't even have to set the whole thing up. Just unroll the thing, have, tack it up there with something, and shine the picture on it, and go...
But there's no way I would warn you away from it right off the bat.
There's nothing
you'll be fine.
Yeah, that's something that's making me think that. Looking at speaker options dock. Oh, that's right. That's this guy. That's this guy. Okay. Sorry. Yes, the speaker dock. So
he's
big.
got SVS, AVRant, Ascend.
Looking at a speaker options dock. Are you showing this to people so that they know our pain?
No, this isn't getting up
okay,
there, no.
Is there a better option he's overlooked? Okay, also in several cases, the bookshelf setup. Okay, so let's go through what he's got. He's got SVS. It looks like he's got towers with satellites.
Yeah, prime towers. So I mean, he's gone SVS, prime towers, ultra bookshelves, ultra towers. Obviously, you're going up in price with each of those, right? AVRant audio, Intimus towers, Varus bookshelves, Varus towers, right? Going up and up in price of those. Ascend acoustics, SE series, Sierra 1 series, Sierra Tower series, right? Up and up in price. EMP techs, from their EMP tech impression series towers to their RBH MC series, and then for some reason KEF as the last one, Q series, which seems like the odd man out, but wouldn't be a bad choice by any means in this room.
Okay, you're not sitting that far away from speakers, so
not that far. Nope.
I don't, and you're gonna have plenty of subwooferage in here. I don't see any reason for you to have towers. I just don't. I don't see you having a need for them. So
I can dig that.
If you can scratch all the towers off of this thing. Let's just get rid of all the towers. All right. You can save some money on bookshelves, but like I've said before, I mean, I've heard some Dolly bookshelves that just blew away everything else. Why? I mean, they had a ribbon tweeter, and they were just. I mean, they were the voicing was just amazing, and they worked really well in a very big room, and it was the right speaker at the right time. So. The ones I would be looking at, if it were me, the ones I would be looking at from the SVS, I'd be looking at the Ultra bookshelves. If you've got the money for it, that's the one I would be looking at, the Ultra bookshelves.
Those are 45 days in free returns, so there's no choice. Well, it was funny in his email. He's like, "I know you're going to tell me to audition the ones that are two-way free shipping, and you're correct, Rodney. I'm going to tell you to audition all the ones that are two free-way shipping."
I would get the Ultra bookshelves. I would get the Varus 2s. I would get the Sierra bookshelves.
Yeah, because the Sierra 1s are free shipping both ways, and so are the CMT 340s. They're also free shipping both ways. So why not bring them all in?
Honestly,
party.
One that I would really like to see is the RBH ones. I imagine they don't have free shipping. The MCs, sure. I bet those are going to be really competitive as far as how they sound per price.
I mean, honestly, any of these, like if you just bought any of those bookshelves that we just mentioned, we would be like, yeah, you got great speakers. Like, we'd have no problem if you just bought any of them and just left it at that.
Yeah.
So, there's no really bad choice in here. I mean, the KEF Q series or the R series, they'd be in there too.
Right. And don't forget, you could get KEF from Accessories for Less on the cheap too.
That's true.
So they're bookshelf speakers.
So, I mean, maybe this comes a little bit more to in-ceiling speakers, because he's going to have Atmos speakers, right? And he's going to want in-ceilings.
Yep.
And, I mean, so obviously KEF, they make great in-ceiling speakers that will match really well with any of their other speakers. If you want your surrounds to be in walls instead of on walls for some reason, and all of their bookshelf speakers are front ported, so zero problem putting one of the bookshelves behind your screen in that little cubby. So I mean, KEF would be an absolutely fine choice here. If you go with Ascend, Dave Fabricant himself highly recommends, if you want in-ceiling speakers that match quite nicely with Ascend, he recommends Sonance. And Sonance is a well-established in-ceiling in-wall speaker brand. RBH makes some very nice in-ceiling speakers, which honestly, I would be fine matching RBH with anybody.
Yes, that is true.
They have a really nice, convenient backer box solution to RBH. I actually like their backer box solution the best out of anybody's. It's really easy and convenient. So.
RBH is is a really easy recommend because and that's another company, and that I don't know, I've said this a couple of times in this podcast, but it's another company that when you spend more money, you get more performance, no matter what it is.
And maybe he goes for those bipole on walls for the surrounds, since he's not going to have surround backs. Maybe he goes for the bipoles. Ooh, that's starting to seem nice.
I like that.
Look at this. All these internet direct brands that we always recommend, we're going to end up going RBH.
I know, RBH, right? Because he brought it up. We're like, ooh, you're considering it?
Did.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so the bipole ones that we're talking about, you actually double wire them. If this is the one I'm thinking of, right? You double
you could. Oh, yeah, you could do that, or you could just use them as
You could. You can wire them for the front side of it to be the surround side and the back side of it to be the surround back side. You can actually...
You can do that with SVS's Ultra series bipoles too.
as well. So there's
lots of options.
Now you've got 7.2.4. Look how sexy this is turning out.
We really haven't helped him at all.
Nope.
We just reaffirmed that he should try all the things he was already considering.
Do all the things.
Look, given that the majority of what you were considering has two-way free shipping with like return
That's
return
right.
policies,
Then just
why not?
Just take that return shipping on the RBH stuff and spread it out across all of them, and it'll always be like $5 per pair of speakers, something like that.
Well, I mean, if all you're doing is auditioning a pair of bookshelf speakers from each of them, then if you have one of them that you have to pay for return shipping, that's really not that bad.
Yeah.
Certainly worth the money for peace of mind.
Yeah.
So there you go. So there are in-ceiling solutions for any of these that you choose.
Yes.
We think they're all very good options.
I would
honestly, if you just picked one and you said these are the ones I like, we'd be like, heck yeah. Great choice.
Sorry, but we have helped. We took out all the tower ones.
I think so. That's
the
true.
Tower ones are all gone. I don't think you need any towers in this room. It's just not enough. Not big enough to justify it, especially with the amount of subwoofers you have. I think I answered that question anyways. So, what do we suggest for in-ceiling? We already did that too. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It.
Yes.
You're set,
You're
Rodney.
done. Okay.
Clear as mud.
Clear as mud. Let us know how that works out for you, and we're sorry to your UPS man who's going to be seriously hating you after bringing all these speakers back and forth. Want your question answered? Send it to question@avrant.com. This is AVRant.
Now go out and listen to something.